my partner Yinko. I met this guy through the comments, not in the game, through the comments on YouTube. We linked up, and every day since, it's been shenanigans, antics, gearing up, good times, and great gear. Yinko, I'm passing it to you.
What is good, fresh family? Wait, was that too corny? Nah, fuck it.
No,
Fuck
no.
it. But, what is good, guys? It is your boy Yinko. And slight, slight side note, let's get this man up to 100 subscribers. Can we do that? Can we get this man up to 100 subscribers? And I'm going to say, fuck it. Let's get to 10 likes. I'm saying 10 likes on the video.
Please,
10 likes on the video.
please.
Get my man fresh up to 100 subscribers, and let's get 10 likes. All right, I'm done. I'm done.
All right, so if you've seen part one, you already know. This is part two. If you're tuning in to part two, you're one of our viewers and you haven't yet seen the whole thing. Impromptu Tea Party. We're both bravers, but we come together and we talk about topics that are hitting home, that are important, getting out information that people need to know. Yinko had his talk points in part one. This is part two, and I'm going to bring up some important talk points to me. Now, they aren't as broad. They're a bit more focused because I'm more focused on my character and every other character that I play with. And I'm a min-maxer slash coal miner. If you don't know what that is, coal miner is that guy that squeezes every little bit out of their character, no matter what is in their hand that they're using. Min-maxer is squeezing every little bit out of your gear. That's just my opinion. So, moving forward, first topic I want to talk about is special augment factors on weapons. Now, I'm gonna start this off by saying every weapon in the game, every weapon type has a special augment factor. Some coincide and group together more than others, and I have a list pulled up that I can reference. Okay, so Dios, I know everybody in the game has run across 10-star Dios. Dios, once you first off, your special augment factor only plays a part or only comes to light, only flourishes when a weapon has reached 35. For those of you that don't know, normally a weapon you can only enhance it to 30, and to get it to 35 you have to add that same weapon, exact, not augments, but the exact same weapon. So if we're talking about let's just say the Dio Ardillo, that's the sword for hunters, you would need to add 5 other Dio Ardillos to a plus 30 Dio Ardillo to make it 35 max. Then the special augment factor will come in, would be available to you. So for Dios, it's gonna be melee power plus 30. For Nox, it's gonna be melee power plus 35. And on a higher note, you can use Saigas and syringes, but those are like later 13 or 14 stars. They're not in the game yet. So we're just going to concentrate on Dios and Noxus and also Sigmas. A lot of people don't know, but a lot of Sigmas are dropping. Those are 12 stars. Dios are 10 stars. The Sigmas are 12 stars. You get them up to 35, and Sigmas add, I want to say some Sigmas add stamina 4. Dios add might 4. So if you're a melee character and you're looking for that, get your Dios up to it. Special augment factors play a part when augmenting because you can use one of that 35, that plus 35 enhanced weapon to get a guaranteed 100% when you're augmenting your weapon. So I'm a braver. Yinko, my partner, is a braver. If we're looking to get the most out of our weapon and add a might 4 along with other augments that augment our melee power and get it up higher, we can level a Dio to plus 35, and that's a guaranteed might 3, might 4 into our weapon just by enhancing it and using that weapon as an enhancement fodder. Yinko, what do you got for that?
Now, just to piggyback off of that, now, if you, now, even if you don't have your weapon maxed out all the way, you can still check to see what that augment factor is. Like, I didn't think it was my Psycha. I didn't have it maxed out all the way, but I still was able to check to see what augment factor that it did have, just so I knew,
Panic.
which was Panic 4, so I knew what I can use, or I knew what I can put into it, once I got it up to plus 35 and everything. My suggestion would be, and I haven't been able to really check, but I'm pretty sure that not all the weapons have all the same augment factors. So definitely before you start augmenting and trying to min-max your weapon, if you want to enhance it, cool, but before you start fully enhancing it to get it up to the augment, I would check to see what that augment factor is, because Panic 4, yeah, it's alright, but I'd rather have like Melee 4, like Might 4, or Spirit 4, or Stamina 4, or something like that, something that's actually usable, or that'll actually go towards your stats, your base stats, and, help you be able to last in a fight a little bit longer, or give you more power, or, just something that's more viable than like Panic 4. You don't see too many Panics, or just like any other like status type augments on weapons like that, unless you're just really big into like shock and freeze and fire and shit like that. Like if you're into that, then by all means put that bitch on there. But if you're not, I would try to check and see what augment factor it has before you actually level it up to full, to be able to put augments on it. But that's just my thing.
You see this dude? He's already cutting into my topic number 3 and doesn't even know it yet. But we'll get to that. We'll get to the those special type of augments, especially the ones that cause it's all good, big dog. The ones that cause different status effects. Um, Again, special augment factors. I mentioned this because I'm not a character. I don't have a character with a whole lot of money. I don't bank a whole lot. I have like on a Monday. I have like 2 million. On Friday, I might have like 5 million. I don't have a whole lot of Meseta to put into augments like Modulator, Apprentice Soul. The I don't have it. This is a cheaper way to do it. If you have a Sigma, if you have a Dio, get those up to 35 and you can add those stats at 100% rate. I can't stress this enough. That is a guaranteed 100% rate added as an augment to your weapon. Not to mention whatever augments they have. Let's just say I have a plus 35 Dio. That's 35 striking. That's 35 melee damage, melee power.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention it may have Might 3 on it. It may have Mastery 3 on it. Also adding to the list of augments that I can put onto my weapon. So this is for lack of a better word, don't kill the messenger. This is for the poor man's augment that still want to get the most min-maxing, still want to get the most out of what it is that you're trying to augment and ultimately use when you go down on these planets and you fight. This is the guys, the Tom, Dick, and Harry that don't have the 30 and 40, the 5 to 10 million to get Modulator and all these Beniculum, all these other expensive souls that you could put on your weapon. No, Get your sigmas up. Get to 35. Get your DOs up to 35. And add those as guarantee augments to the main weapon that it is that you're trying to get up.
Now, just to piggyback off of that, now, if you're gonna be augmenting, if you're gonna be augmenting, if the best way, like the main thing that you need to do is you need to upslot. If you
Yes.
haven't if you didn't get the weapon to drop with a whole bunch of slots, if it maybe it dropped with one or two slots, upslot first, upslot first, upslot first.
Preach.
Then
Preach.
if you haven't, hopefully at that point you haven't, because if you're gonna augment, whatever you're using, whatever you're using to augment has to either match the number of slots or be better than what you currently have. So you definitely have to pick and I won't even say pick and choose. Like you have to kind of hope to God that, that weapon that you just bought for, 100K or whatever the cost was. Hope to God that, not only with the slots that you have, but also has that augment factor that you're looking for. Because if it doesn't have that augment factor, you just literally just wasted, 200K or whatever the case is. So not to knock wood, he said you're gonna need to be able to have just a little bit of money, because you're gonna be buying a lot of fodder, and if you're gonna be trying to augment, like Fresh is saying, then you're gonna go through a few fodders to be able to. If you don't have a lot of money, I would suggest just keeping it at the range of 3 to 4 slots. If you have the weapon to drop at 3 to 4 slots, keep it at 3 to 4 slots, and just add the main things that you need, like the might, the spirit, stamina, and if you have a soul that you can put on there, then put that soul on there.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't, then I would maybe, put like, something like a status, or, or maybe a defense, you know, augment there just to fill in that slot. Because, I mean, essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying not to be so squishy, or let me not say squishy, but you're trying not to bring a wet paper towel to a fight. You want to be able to
You
hit.
don't want to be glass.
Exactly. Like, you want to try to, like, have your HP up to about, bump it up to maybe about plus 30, plus 40. Get your stamina. I'm not saying your stamina, but your spirit. Have your PP up a little bit by, like, maybe plus 3 or 4. And definitely have your melee at least about minimum plus 40, I would say. If you can get that melee, if you get that might 4, I think that's plus 40 if I'm not mistaken, Fresh? Might 4?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
if you can get those to drop, and you can max that out, definitely max that out, so you can have that might
Oh,
4.
no, wait. Might 4, 35. Might 5 is 40.
Okay. So, I mean, if it drops at might 5, that's even better. But, definitely have that plus 35, guaranteed on your weapon. And if you can have something, if you can have a soul that not only adds melee and HP, in my opinion, just so, because my whole thing is, I want to be able to survive in a fight, as well as be able to hit. So
Preach.
I look for the souls that are melee and HP focused. Probably a decent one to look for is Vol Soul.
Yes.
Vol Soul is a
Vol
pretty good one.
Soul. What's another one? Berry Soul is good.
Mm-hmm.
I currently use that on my Soul Cougar. But Volso adds a good deal of melee power along with HP. To just to give you the stats on it, Volso is 30 melee power and 20 HP, which is good. That's gonna take you. It's gonna get you closer to being out of squish and into all right. I'm okay. And that's just for soul. If you know Don't be afraid to go with a stamina 3 or a stamina 4. It will take up a slot, but you'll thank yourself in the end when you're still standing with like 200 HP versus the guy who was all glass and you're using your last moon atomizer to pick him up.
Right, right. And just
So that that that's just our 2 cents on the subject.
uh,
That's my
quick
first one.
side note.
I'm
Quick
gonna
side note.
skip my
Quick side
top
note.
point two,
Wait,
and I'm
quick
gonna
side
move
note.
to my
Oh
top
shit.
point two. My top point two is
Oops. Quick side
is
note. My bad. I had
controversial.
muted myself. My bad. Quick
Yeah.
side note, real quick. If you need,
Hmm.
if you need to shit. I just had a brain fart. Oh, if you have issues of sliding and augmenting, a good YouTuber to watch is Ninja Cheeto.
Shout
Shout
out.
out to Ninja Cheeto. He, I watched his video. He's a JP veteran, and like, dude, helped like immensely. The video's kind of long, and like he goes through a lot of explanation, but it's definitely explanation that you will need in order to be able to upslot, as well as get your some of those augments 100%. Because if you do go for melee 3 and it's not something that's 100%, like if you choose to not wait to get it up to plus 35 and you want to put something on there, definitely check out that video. It'll definitely help you. All right, that's it.
No doubt. No doubt. So I'm gonna skip my second one. I'm gonna go to my third one. I'm gonna come back to my second one because it's controversial. It's one of those up in the air ones.
Oh
My
shit.
third one. I know, bro. I know. I had to do it. I had to bring it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go hard or go home. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
feel
I'm
it. I
just a
feel
little
it.
guy. I got very narrow focus. So my third talk point, skipping two for now, is our weapon status effects worth it? I some people may say no off break, like instantly. No. And I beg to differ. And I'll put my slave cougar on that. Because up until this new update, I probably would agree with you and said no. But I was running with Yink and I'm watching a rock bear under the lightning effect. And the rock bear has a huge left swing and a huge right swing. Then they bob, and then they do a drop kick. He did a left swing and did a right swing. And then when he went to do the drop kick, the lightning that he had on him procced. And he froze. He got paralyzed. And he didn't do the drop kick. And it saved me. So, in that instant, right then and there, not to mention all of the other very common times where I've seen a ranger's ice effect freeze something that was behind me, or freeze something mid swing that didn't hit me, or gave me the opportunity to realize, oh stink, he was moving or he's swinging on me. Let me go ahead and counter by the time this ice breaks, get the counter off, and then break off into a flash of lotus, or something else braver style that may allow me to survive or dodge that hit and still crank out damage. So I'm gonna say yes, status effects are worth it. I can appreciate them when they come through for real. And
Right.
now where I will get into specifics of yes and no is the weapon that you're using. If you are using a weapon with multiple hits, twin machine guns, double sabers, dual daggers, weapons that hit a lot, then yes, the the weapon status effects are very much so worth it because you have a higher chance to proc that status effect.
Right.
Whereas katanas, yeah, what you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 hits in your normal perfect attack, just regular mash the X button combo, and then most of our photon arts hit once or twice for very very high hits. So for a braver and for weapons like maybe the sword, weapons that don't get a lot of hits in or don't have a lot of weapon actions, maybe it's not so much good for 'em. But weapons that do, yes, absolutely. Though
Mm-hmm.
they will save your life. Fire on any other MMO, I would say fire is the strongest. Fire damage wise is the strongest to me on this game, but it is the weakest as far as actual status effects
Right.
because a freeze and a lightning will save you. It will save you. That lightning paralyze and that freeze, just capturing them and freezing them for a second, it will save you in that split second. That is the difference between that hit connecting and you getting that split second to see that he's about to swing and you hit the right trigger to dodge.
Right.
So, to me, status effects are worth it depending on the weapon.
And
Yinko, what you got?
I definitely agree with that. I feel like it's especially for braver. I feel that it's only certain. I want to say like maybe panic will be a good status effect. Something that's still gonna last even after procs, like panic, maybe shock. Like right now, like my slave cougar has shock one on it, and I've seen it proc. And at first, I didn't realize it. I
Oh,
didn't
word?
realize it at all.
You got the shot?
Yeah, it dropped with shock, and I didn't realize that it had shock on there because I mean I saw it, but it really didn't. It really didn't. Light bulb didn't click whenever I was fighting,
Mm-hmm.
because I kept on seeing, you know, enemies, with the shock on them, and I'm like, fuck, is there a lightning storm somewhere? And then I realized, oh shit, I got shock on, like it's procking, and like it
Yes.
came through. I would say shock is probably a good one. Fire is a good one. Panic is a good one. I want to say freeze. I want to say freeze, but the only problem with freeze is that it doesn't freeze them. Like once you hit them with the initial hit and it procs and
It
it
breaks the
freezes
ice.
them, yeah, your second, third, fourth hit, it'll negate that essentially. So I mean, yeah, it'll stop them from doing the initial move, but it won't be something that's continuous unless you're continuously hitting them and proccing that freeze. Unless unlike shock or fire or something like that. Like shock, like you said, it'll paralyze them. It'll stop them from moving for like a split second, which you said saved your life. So, I would say shock. Like no matter how many times you fucking hit them, that shock ain't going nowhere. That shock ain't going anywhere until it
Right.
until it finally turns itself
Until it
off.
wears off.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say shock is probably, as far as for a braver, if you're gonna go with a status effect, I would say that. I would say shock over anything. Panic, I haven't. I've used panic, but I haven't. I don't think it's a viable enough status effect in
Oh,
my
I
opinion.
got you.
Yeah, I don't think
I've
it's.
seen panic.
Yeah, I don't.
Panic will make them stop and make them just look at you. Just just look at. They won't do anything to you.
I just.
That's it.
I don't know. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen like that be a decent enough stat, especially on the boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, boss isn't gonna just get procced by panic and be like, oh shit, like nah, they're gonna keep on go. They're gonna keep on coming. At least with shock, I think shock also gives you like a slight DPS. Like it'll because
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
when I get hit with
Shock.
shock, it'll
Well,
hit.
shock's damage when it ticks, it only ticks for one damage. But when it does tick, it stops them in their
Right.
tracks. Period.
So you're getting like slight DPS, also, as a bonus, but you're getting that paralysis, which like you said, fresh, it definitely came in handy. So I mean, for me, as far as a braver, that would probably be the best bet. Now, if you're like a ranger, or if you're using the bow and you have panic on there, that'll probably be better. Or if you have freeze, yeah, if you have freeze and you're hitting from a decent distance, uh, that'll definitely help you be able to, what's the best way to put it? Mob manage. Manage the
Mm-hmm.
mobs
Crowd
around you.
control.
Right, crowd control. It would be a good crowd control, so you don't have to necessarily hit that dude, but you can focus on other things from a bigger distance. So, that's just my opinion on that one.
For sure, and I definitely appreciate it. We both have been in and out of various MMOs. I'm an MMO geek. I've played Final Fantasy 11 for 10
Same.
years. I played Final Fantasy 14 for 8 years. Played World of Warcraft for 10 years. I definitely see the value, and I know Yinko can attest to it. I definitely see the value in good crowd control, and so to those of you who are watching who have jobs other than Braver, if you have a weapon that hits more than 3 times in a combo, you might want to look into status effects weapons, freeze,
Mm-hmm.
lightning. Uh, these are things that will help out not just you on some solo stuff, but your party in general. I've already given you my personal accounts of it, and here's the thing: if I'm paired up, if Yinko was a fighter and I was paired up with him as a braver, I'm only hitting for a third of the time that he's hitting. He's hitting twice the times that I am, depending on the weapon. Because fighter weapons, aside from the gauntlets, the hand to hand ones, the dual saber and the dual daggers, they hit for twice as many times. You get two hits,
Mm-hmm.
and in the case of dual sabers, you get 3 hits on the last one. That's almost like 8 hits for that status effect to proc. Look at how many people you are helping out, and then even if you aren't cranking out the numbers, the high numbers that you want, you still exercise that control over what it is that you're fighting and what it is that you're allowing to have access to your group versus what it is that you're making vulnerable for your
Facts.
group to attack.
Especially if you're a glass cannon. Like,
Yes,
if you're a glass cannon, if you're running a Dooman, as a fighter, you know,
I'm a
like
demon.
you're glass. You're gonna be glass, so you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that status effect to help you be able to just get you out of a sticky situation. Like, if even if you're just running, even if you're running braver, you're running a braver hunter build, and you have a status effect on there, and that iron will for the hunter kicks in, because you got hit by something major, and it puts you
Hmm.
at 1% of, like, say if you got freeze, or you've got uh, nah, I'd even say just freeze. If you got freeze and you freeze that motherfucker, like that, that's money. That's money. So
You slapping.
yeah, because it'll get you from, instead of you not having any status effect, to oh shit, that just saved my life. Okay, let me back up and heal up now. So
Hmm. So my last and final topic, which was my second one.
oh shit.
First off, let me preface this by saying I have no facts. I have my personal, not opinion, I have my personal experiences that I'm going to call upon in this.
Okay.
And I challenge you, and I welcome viewers. I challenge viewers to drop down in the comments below to either confirm, deny, back up, support, debunked, and just do away with this theory that your does party makeup or does party setup affect your damage output?
Oof.
Now, this is a heavy issue to me. One that I'm a coal miner. You put something in my hands and you tell me I can't do it, and I will make it so. Like I said in my comment to a previous viewer, if I could fight the sun and the moon, I would with my katana. So if
Hell
you
yeah.
tell me, oh, it's too hard, oh, I can't do it, I'm gonna make it happen, or I'm gonna try my damnedest to. Just because you said that I couldn't, and I know I'm strong enough to. So, calling upon my personal experiences, I've been in parties with mostly ranged. That could be talus users. That could be techers who spell techers who don't use a wand. That could be gunners or rangers. And I've been in parties where we have been hunter, fighter, braver, or all melee. And it just seems like to me that when I am in an all melee party, my numbers skyrocket over my numbers versus when I'm in a party with ranged characters. I do not have any proof. I do not have any hardcore like facts. There is no spreadsheet. There is no Google Doc that I could pull up to confirm this. I'm just telling you what I have noticed and what I've been in parties with all melee characters, and we have blitzed through a entire defensive line of mobs. And then I've been in parties as the only braver with ranged characters. It may be a gunner with twin machine guns, ranger, a techer, whatever. And I'm on the ground and I'm looking like the weakest one there. I don't know what it is, but to me, it seems like party setup, party makeup actually has an effect. Not maybe not a drastic one, but definitely has an effect
Like a secret
on your
buff.
DPS. Right. Say less.
Like a
Say
like a secret
less.
buff. Like if you're running, like kind of. I want to say kind of like how like armor setup is. You know, when you have that full set, and it gives you
Mm-hmm.
that buff. You know, of plus 25 melee and then plus 15 HP and whatever, like the psyche set and shit. I mean that's. I can't confirm or deny it. I honestly, I really, my observation as far as that hasn't been as keen as yours. But I do feel that when it's all melee, we do kind of run through stuff a little bit quicker. Versus if we're running with like techers and uh,
Facts.
and it could be just the added melee power from like if it's a hunter and a fighter, or if it's two hunters or three bravers and a hunter. I definitely feel like there's you know it could be added DPS, and whenever we come through, you know like whenever we hit for numbers. um
Yeah.
but that's a good question. That's something that we might have to test.
Here, here. Let me throw this stone in your paw for you. Here's another thing. There are no guides, and I've said this before in my video. There are no guides on this game. Most of what we know is player based. It is found out by some like Mike on a Monday when he was off from work. He found this out and he put this information out. That is how we know these things. So there are no guides on this game. But I want to remind you that when you're playing solo, you get the solo tri boost buff given to you from the game. And even if you don't have anybody to play with, if you pick up some allies from the little console on the side when you're in the gateway ship, you still get a boost, a tri boost from them. So if you can get a tri boost from the NPCs added to your party, why is it a far stretch for anyone to believe that if you're playing with more melee characters, then melee damage is going to take priority over range damage? And if you're playing with more range, then range damage will take priority over melee damage. In a game where buffs are influenced by the amount of players that you play with,
Facts.
especially one that has no guides.
Yeah, I mean, I even said that in like my beta impressions video. I felt that like the guidance in the game was slacking as far as with shit like that, with shit that I was finding out you know from other people that I played with that I didn't even know existed. I mean, of course, tinkering, is involved, especially with the new game. Uh, you're going to tinker and find out what is what and stuff like that. But, like, for those like me, whenever, like, you go up to NPC and you need to, get some shit from them and they start explaining shit and little pop-up window comes, I skip through that shit. I'm gonna be real. I skip through it
Hmm.
and I just try to figure it the fuck out. I just try to just figure it out as I go,
I like that.
instead of just just sitting there reading it. I know there's a lot. Don't tell me you motherfuckers don't do it, but I know there's a lot of people like me that just kind of just bebop through the goddamn guide windows just so they could be able to do whatever the hell they're trying to do. There's a small
Hmm.
percentage of people that actually sit there and just read, what the guide window tells you. And even with the guide window, like with the tips and tricks window that they, when you first get to something, they don't tell you everything. Uh, they don't tell you everything that you can do. Like, they don't tell you the percentage. They don't tell you like how you can better it. They don't tell you anything. They just say like, hey, here's how this works. If you do this, this happens. That's it. And then after that, it's just mainly just the community trying to figure it out. So, I mean, I'm always down to try to figure out whether or not like that that melee buff, is an actual thing. Because I mean, if it is, then you know that's a good guide. Because I don't think there's anything out there, even on the JP side, that shows that, and I haven't heard anything about it outside of you. You know, so even with the JP veterans, like they haven't said anything as far as like, oh yeah, like you get a you get a slight buff to range power or melee power if you have X amount of melees or X amount of range or whatever the case is. So that's that's a good theory. I like that theory. I like it.
I'm just I'm just here to put it out, baby. I don't need to be right or wrong. I just want to get the people thinking. You know what I'm saying? If you listen, because that's all my title. That's all my talk points. If you have something concrete, and even if you have a theory, drop it down. Drop it down in the comments. All right, let us know. This isn't the first. I mean, this is the first, but it is surely not the last impromptu tea party that we will have. And
Links. We
rest
want
assured,
links. Put links.
hit
Give
us
us
up.
the Carfax.
Put it
We
down
want
there.
Carfax.
Put it down there. We want facts. All right, these things need to be confirmed because, just like us, people need to know. How else do you expect to get good at something if you can't learn? And you learn by doing, you learn by reading, you learn by knowing. So, in closing, I just first off, do you have anything, partner?
Just my thing is, why be the only motherfucker to know something, and then when you go into like emergency quest or urgent, if you're on JP, or if you're on the NA side emergency quest, you go into emergency quest and you see fucking Joe Smo fucking getting smoked every fucking swing from Dark Falls Elcher or Dark Falls Luther, and you're like, Jesus Christ, this kid is terrible. Why doesn't he do this? Well, you kind of just, if you're the only motherfucker that knows it,
You
and you're not putting it out, how do you expect Joe Smo to
you
get
played yourself.
exactly? Congratulations, you played yourself. You
Hmm.
you keeping the message or the information to yourself isn't helping the next person that's going to be next to you fighting the fight to last. You're gonna be wasting all your moons, resin Joe Schmo, when if you have a recorder and a mic and you know the information and this isn't common knowledge, you know, help Joe Schmo out. Like, hey, check out this video. Kind of like slide it on, like you're sliding them a tip or a message like in school, on a folded paper. Like, hey, check out this guy. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. This is where I learned that information from. Pass. the knowledge. Don't keep it to yourself. That's a lot of the it's a lot of the problem with, MMOs and MMORPGs, like people will find out information from doing a whole bunch of digging, and then their thing is, well, I did it, why can't you do it? But not a lot of people are going to know where to go. Not a lot of people are going to have other people that they know to guide them to wherever they need to go to. A lot of people are playing this solo, no alliance. God knows how many people we've seen throughout, us playing this that's not an alliance. And just, quick shout out, Instinct, #1 on ship 2.
Instinct.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, just if you have the Carfax, show us the Carfax, and not just us, the viewers. My bad.
Again, I want to say this. No, you good, baby. You good. Here's what like my boy said. You going into a fight with Dark Falls. You're with 12 other people. The world cannot fit on your shoulder. You cannot carry 12 people in that fight. So the more people that know a fraction of what you know, the less.
Big facts.
You don't have to work as hard. You don't have to work as hard. Because the guy to your left and the guy to your right know just as much as you do and are going to bring the noise just as hard as you're going to bring it. So share it.
Big facts.
You know what I'm saying? In closing, I want to say this, and I've said it before. We want to play with our viewers. If you want to farm, if you are trying to gear up, if you are new to the game and you just need pointers, you want to hop in a party with us, you want to start a chat with us, shoot, you don't even have to be in our game. You could be in our party and start a chat with us while you're on your own mission. Let us know. We want to play with our viewers, okay? If you're stopping by, drop us a line. Like, comment, subscribe. Support the channel. Growth is great.
Get my boy to 100.
Please help me get to 100. Show the love. Show the love. And trust me, in showing the love to both of us, the love will be shown in return. I'm not even playing. All right? This has been Fresh Real. It's been great talking to you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for feeding me as I fed you. Yink, what you got? You can close this out.
Man, I just appreciate you bringing me on, dog, and just letting me put my little input. I don't know as much as you do, but just from my experience with other MMOs and RPGs, I try to bring what little knowledge I can to the table as far as when it comes to that. But just show my man some love. Show him some love. Great content creator, great guy. You see us out on ship 2, and hopefully if they have like the character transfer, that hopefully it's for free. If it's for free, feel free to transfer over to ship 2, or if we need to, we'll transfer over to ship 1. We'll come help the motherfucker out. They have no issues trying to carry. I don't want to say carry, that sounds so elitist, but we don't have any issues helping you out to get to 75. God knows, we had help, we still getting help, so just show some love. That's it, bro.
We are on ship 2. That is where we dwell. That is the dojo. We are typically found on lobby 58. That's where Instinct, that's our alliance. That's where we hold up. So if you're on ship 2, lobby 58, that's cool. If not, if you ship 2 and you're on any other lobby, drop us a line. If it's something in the story you want, cool, we can work out something, whatever. It does not matter. We want to know you.